Hello everybody and welcome back to Minecraft. My name is Buzzy107 and today we're going to be getting some work done around here. As you can see, I'm standing on some blackstone right now, and this is going to be the spot for our mud drying factory because I want to be able to have access to renewable clay, and seeing as how we already have access to mud pretty quickly, I'm going to go ahead and get some clay going here. Now, as you guys saw in a live stream, we're going to go ahead and head over there now. We started working on this area right here. And this area is just going to be a simple little pond. Nothing really special here. I might be putting some builds up here because I am planning on getting this whole area developed as we go. Now I know I did say I was going to be putting a factory over top of this, and I am going to, but to be honest, I want this whole area to kind of be a little bit more industrial, and then this area over here to be a little more residential, I guess you could say. Get some planning done for this factory and exactly how big I want the landscape to be, because we are going to have to do some more terraforming. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get all that done, and then we will come back. Alright, so I went ahead and got the redstone set up off camera, just because it is was a little bit trying to figure out. But I can go ahead and do a demonstration right now. So I got 4 stacks of mud here. We're going to stand right here. And as I hold down the, hold on, let me turn down some sounds real quick. Music and sounds, blocks, we're going to turn that down to 60%. So as I put this all down, you'll see it move past me. And what is going on here is actually, so whenever it gets to this end, this piece of glass connects to this, which is a block update for the observer, and the block update actually gives the redstone a power, and it goes down over up to here, and I believe that I can do that. Yep, I can do that, and I can eliminate the need for the extra redstone. So it'll be a little bit fast, it'll be a little bit stronger of a pulse. And then all I have to do is sit here and hold right click. And then now I can go and I can check and see just how much I have to move this platform over here. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this platform in with all the dripstone that I went and collected today in my live stream, which is right here, and some blackstone. I gotta go get some more from the base, but I want to go ahead and do that, and then we'll work on actually getting the factory designed to be used for drying out all of this mud. Now, this is going to take a while to dry, and there's really no way to speed up the process, unfortunately, but I did go ahead and get all the blackstone and the pointed dripstone here, and as you can see, it's already starting to turn into into clay. But like I said, there's no real way to speed up the process. This is kind of just a make the farm, fill the farm, and kind of let it wait to do its thing. Alright, so after a while of debating, I decided to go ahead and add the blocks in. So we now have access to the polished tuff. Well, we have access to all the copper blocks, all the new copper blocks. And we now have access to all the new tuff blocks. And I think that this is going to be a good change because it gives me the ability to add some of the new features in before waiting for the features. Now I know that it is kind of looked upon oddly, I guess you could say. And I do understand that, you know, it's putting in features that are in the game that aren't in the game. And I know that people tend to be a little weary about that. I know I was when I saw it on Hermitcraft, but after, you know, seeing what they've been able to do with having them, and just the fact that I can make something like this now with the copper bulb, and you know some of the newer features that are actually in Minecraft, I think that it will be a good change. Now I know they recently changed this to where it was not the block, and it was the copper ingots. And I think while that is good to do, you know, having access to all of these and having access to everything, I don't know if I'm going to be using copper trapdoors and stuff, and I know it's a little bit expensive for me to do it now, but I wonder if that was cheaper doing it this way. Yeah, it was cheaper to me do it this way. But having these copper grates is going to be great for the factory itself, because I do want to have a water path going from basically here, have it coming kind of out like this, and then going out and making this little area, let me eat real quick, making this little area right here kind of like a pond where all that water that's getting drained out of this mud and turning it into clay is going, and it's kind of filling up this pond, and it's getting some of the runoff of mud and stuff like that. So all of underneath of here, I'll give you guys an idea now that I have these blocks. And like I said, I wanted to wait for the update, but at the same time, I've been bouncing back and forth because I do want to get going on some of these projects and not just working on all the redstone stuff that I know until, you know, they come in. But I think with doing something like this, and then I can put the blocks like this. Alright, so the clay has fully finished, and we're going to go ahead and harvest all of this clay and see how much we actually get from it. Well, that's a lot of clay. We've got, what, 1, 2, 3, that's 5, 9 stacks and 48 clay balls from that, which equates to about 3 stacks of clay. Alright, so I think for what I want to do right here is probably going to be making this into more of a kiln situation. So I'm going to place some blocks here, come over here, and we will place a block right here. Because this might get covered up, this little section right here might get covered up with a kind of like a support wall. But I know that I at least need one of the kiln supports here. Then over here. And then one right here. So the exterior wall is going to come out right here so that I can cover up the observer. So I think that we're going to have to make sure we account for the kiln or the kilns, because I'm probably going to make more than one. But I want to have them kind of like this so that, you know, you can walk in through here and just kind of grab whatever you need out through here. And then we are going to get some bricks. And I think the exterior at least this upper half is going to be brick. Alright, so I went in and got a little bit done, so let me eat real quick and I'll show you guys around. Alright, so if you look here, we got a brick perimeter going all the way around. Up here we have a support wall that actually cuts into the mountain, and I'm going to leave that all brick because I spaced it out accordingly with the up here on with the area up here on the mountain to make sure that everything was right. Went ahead and put in some anvils all across the bottom to act as, you know, the railing, so to speak. I do need to go ahead and count this out and put in a pillar like this. Underneath of that, I put in some more grates so that we could have some more grates in here. I went ahead and made a little opening here. Now I might have to take this out and move it in by one, which I actually will do now. In doing so, I can move this one in by one. And then that gives us a 3 space here. 2, 3, 4. I can move this one in by one. And move this one in by over by one. So that'll give us a 3 space here, a 3 space here, and it'll give us a 1, 2, 3, 4 space right here, which is fine. And then I put in some black concrete back here just to simulate the darkness that's going to be going on when all of the mud is drying. Because inside of kilns, I was looking at, they are pretty expansive, but they are also really dark, really closed off in most areas. I wanted to leave this one a little bit more open, just so that it could be seen working because I didn't want to just close all this off and have the whole inside of here dark, because then we'd have hostile mobs starting to spawn as well. So the top of the kiln will be on this block here. We'll put a temporary block right there. So the top of the kiln will be 4 blocks tall, and it'll come over. And like I said, it will be 4 kilns. So in here, this should be roughly, well, I gotta double check, but I think this block right here is the middle, and I'm just gonna split it into 4s. Alright, and we're back. So I'm gonna come in here and show you guys the kilns, but what I'm gonna do is on each one I'm gonna lay down some trapdoors like this, and I'm gonna show you guys on this one, and then I'm just gonna cut back once they're all done. And now when I turn around, we have a fully completed interior. So that is the interior of the, well, the interior roof of the kiln. Now it's time to focus on getting this done, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do this, get these all built up, and then when we come back we will work on getting the building done. And I'm going to talk about the kilns first, and then we'll get started on the building. So I'm going to go ahead and get this done, and we'll come back in just a second. Alright, and we went ahead and got these 4 done. And what I'm going to do on the inside is I'm just going to go ahead and put down 1 block of the hay bales, and then on top I'm going to go ahead and put the campfires, and that's just so the smoke will reach higher. So we'll go here, do that, and then we'll come here and do that. And that way when we are over this way, we'll be able to see the smoke coming up from the factory, whether it's working or not, because I'm not going to sit there and make, like, you know, a bunch of different redstone contraptions inside of them to keep them from working or not working. But they're going to have big old plumes of smoke coming out. Now what I do want to go do is I want to go grab something to do a border around the top. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that, and then I will come back. Alright, so we got the top in there. I just did a double thick iron trap door to actually make it to where, you know, it's got a little bit of a lip. Went in and put a bunch of bricks right here for a reason. Let me put this up, and let's grab these bricks, and we're gonna have to put these back in here. Alright, so basically I'm gonna clear this out. I'm gonna put bricks right there. The whole lower level of this area is gonna be brick, as you know, previously discussed. The whole lower level is gonna be brick, but this wall right here up to, say, about right here where the not to the top of the kiln, but to where the chimneys start coming up, is also going to be brick, because I feel like you want to have something that's a little more reinforced and not something that's going to be destroyed by any kind of outside elements, such as, you know, rain or wind, heat, or, you know, any kind of burning processes that might happen. And I chose to do a majority of this out of the tiles because they closely match the brick. So that was all part of the process right there. Now I am going to be using these materials that are in here. So stone, granite, dripstone, and And then in here we've got some terracotta, some cyan terracotta, some mangrove. And then in here we've got mostly stone and blackstone. But I'm going to be using all of that in this factory. And without further ado, we're going to get started on actually getting the factory put up. Alright, so after scrapping over half of what I had done and starting over, I think I like where this is going to start going now. So without further ado, and hopefully not without me tearing out another half of this build, let's go ahead and jump into that time lapse. hope you guys enjoyed that time lapse. And in between the time lapse and now, I went ahead and kind of started to get this kind of figured out how I want this going here. This is definitely not the final iteration of it. I got to come in here with some coarse dirt, some packed mud, and some more mud, and I'm gonna make this look a lot better. But we got the drain pipe coming out here, bringing everything down and over to this area right here, kind of flooded in our little I don't know what you would call it. I guess it's just a walkway. But yeah, it's time to get some windows in here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to grab these iron bars, because I feel like the iron bars are going to give it more of an industrial look, because you wouldn't want to have glass in something that you're going to have a lot of cranes and a lot of stuff moving materials around. And what I might do is, if I can make it without it looking too weird, I might try and put one of the cranes that we have at my job in the way they work, which I'd have to do it in this section right here. The way they work is they are attached to the they're actually attached to the ceiling with I-beams, and they ride across the I-beams for us to bring any kind of material that we need, any kind of material or any of the finished products that we use those. And I'm gonna see if I can do it without it looking too weird, but I'm not gonna cross my fingers on that one, because I have a feeling it's just gonna be too disjointed trying to add that in here where I would be able to add it, because the only places I would be able to have it is here, which this would be too narrow, and right here, which I would have to build up a support wall and everything, and I don't know if I'm going to do all that, so I probably will end up skipping it. But we got these walls in, and I got to get a roof on here. So yeah, let me go ahead and think about how I'm going to do this roof, and then we will come back most likely once it's done. Alright guys, be right back. Alright, so finally got a roof on this place. This took me a while to kind of figure out, but I went with a very slight pitched roof. We're going to go into Cheetah Cam here. As you can see, it's a very slight A-frame to it, and I raised up some of the little chimneys just to give some like definition and some variation to the heights in here. Haven't lit this up at all. It's still very open. Well, it does have a light, but the only light it has is the frog lights right here. And then I went in and I put iron bars around here, just as, I don't know, kind of decoration. Now I do have to do something in here. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do yet. I'm probably going to put some sort of fan, if I can fit it, some sort of fan in the center right here, because a lot of factories would have some way of venting out the hot air, and that way they can vent out the hot air and keep some of the workers a little more comfortable. I know in my shop, all down the sides of our buildings, we have fans that will pull out the hot air, and then we have the bay doors that pull in the cold air when we're pulling out the hot air. So I had that set up. I just got to fill that in, but I think that is all we have time for in this episode. I'm going to do some work in between episodes and just get some of this done, but I wanted to get this factory basically as close to finished as possible, but apparently not spawn proof. Alright, so we're gonna have to spawn proof that. Yeah, it had to have come from up there. We'll just put some lanterns around for now. But I definitely gotta say I do like the new tough blocks, and I am excited to start using those in builds. And I do like the new copper blocks, and I actually went through and crafted some of the newest editions. If we go here, I gotta find a use for this, but I think that this is gonna be great for some industrial stuff down the line, and even just some decorative stuff for builds and stuff, because it's, you know, it's copper, it's fun. But for now, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys have any questions or any way that you think that I could improve this build or improve upon the style of the factory in any way, shape, or form, feel free to let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful week and a great weekend, and I will see you all in the next one. My name is Buzzy107. Have a good one. Bye.